See if the live is working. Looks like it is. On a little bit early here just to kind of look through our levels. Cool. Great. Everything looks good. This is all we got. This is all of our levels that we all can see right here. Here is this. We are at all-time highs here. Legit have nothing to do. Let's go with this drawing tool here. I like that level there. And I like this level right here. I'm going to adjust this, but give me that down on the 15. Price seems to like to stop right there. I like this to here. So that 108. You know, we're going to kind of just dance around this level until price tells us kind of where to go. We're not really going to get a ton of good information immediately. I mean, if it does just sell off and just continue to sell off for the rest of the day, then sure. Or get bid up over 108 and just continue to rally. My target that I drew up, I don't know, last month sometime is this blue line here for the extension out of all-time highs. So that's 19,380-ish, 70s, high 70s, 75, 80. That's the next overhead idea that I have, and I can kind of give you a reason why. Let's see if we can get to this. We'll go to the daily. It's going to be messy looking, so just give it a second. Going to the daily here. Alrighty, I'll show you why I like that. We are going to go and look the previous pullback. Where was I with that? I think it was this one. It's messy, so it's hard to see, but gonna get into this a little bit. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna take our fib extension tool. We're gonna go here to here. On this pullback, from that pullback high to pullback low, the first target got hit, that's 61.8. I'm not gonna lie to you, my fault. Not the 61.8. Why did that not go? There we go. The first target that I have right there is that level, right? The 1618 extension off the pullback. That's the reason for this. If you extend this out, you'll see it a little bit better, right? The initial sell-off started here. We pulled back into the lows of February, March, February area. We pulled back deeper. We pulled into that major support level, and then we took off higher low. And then we came right up into our first area that became congestion, which was right here. Then we pushed up a bit further out through the 100% extension. So that's there. And then we got right into all-time highs, which was this first extension. And then, like I said, that was going to get me into 19,000. So I had that 19,000 mark drawn up. We hit off on that pretty much exactly, pulled back off of that. And now we're trying to extend into this 1618 extension here. So there is upside. There's never not upside. We hit 19,000. There's no reason we wouldn't hit 20,000, right? So just using some confluences here on the pullbacks. Everything in that blue is that next level of extension in Fibonacci's. I don't use this, for exact sciences, but when we get into all-time high territory, you need to find out something that's going to give you targets, something that's going to give you a reasonable expectation for extension, and it's just math. Just kind of how things work. And then a lot of people are using these types of tools that are looking for upside targets into the all-time highs, right? So just be mindful of that area there, that 19,400. If we start to catch a bid in a rally, not out of the realm of possibility that something in that zone gets tagged off. So that's why I have that blue crude line there. I could draw it up as a real line here just to show it to you. I'm gonna give that extension there, but I'm gonna leave this blue drawn line just to show that I drew it up weeks ago, or not, maybe not weeks ago, but at least a week ago. What's up, Scrooge? Top Step. Is there a minimum amount of trades you can take? Like if I only took 2 trades a day, but I was profitable and able to pass. No, there's no minimum amounts of trades. There's no minimum amounts of days per se. Let's say you passed in 2 days. You made $1,500 in 2 days. You passed a 50K account, and you're looking to you're funded now. You're doing the XFA. The only rules for the XFA is that you have to make, to request a payout, you have to make 5 $200 days, which isn't unreasonable. If you start making like $100 a day, like $150 a day, and you do that over 30 days, they may, say, hey, you could take a withdrawal. All right, you're really consistent. You're doing the right thing. You're doing $100 a day. You haven't lost anything. You're keeping your risk small. They tend to bend their own rules as far as payouts are concerned if you're consistent. When it comes to just the basic rules, 5 $200 days, and you could take 50% of your profits. Once you've hit 30 days of wins, you could take 100% if you want. Really, all that does is make sure that it keeps you with a buffer to trade after the fact. They really do worry about their traders. They want you guys and us to be able to succeed and to have develop good risk management strategies. They do a really good job with that. They have in the past gone out of their way, like let's say Top Step X crashes or Trade-Evade crashes or stuff like that. They go out of their way to make it right. Either funded accounts, combines, they go out of their way. Their support team is second to none. You really don't wait for answers if you need them. But for the most part, there's no minimum amounts of trades. I usually try to take 1 trade a day. I mean, at my best, I'm trying to take one good trade per day. That's all you really want to be, minimizing your trades rather than, 100 trades a day. It's crazy to be taking so many. So, yeah, they would prefer to see you take 1 really good trade a day and manage your risk well than to take 10 subpar trades and max leverage on every single one of them. Yeah, 1, 2, 4, in that under. Realistically, if I start getting over that dollar amount, that trade amount, it means I'm either tilted and just trying to force in the market, or I am just completely either seeing it super well and I'm just hammering out like 10-point win, 10-point win, 10-point win, because if I'm executing that many trades, it means I've definitely gotten past what I really want to do. And usually I won't get my setup more than that many times a day, right? Like if I'm fading breakouts of overnight highs and overnight lows, or playing a continuation of an overnight high or an overnight low, it's only going to come into play maybe once to twice, and if the reason I've entered 3 to 4 or 5 times is because maybe I got stopped or whatever. Tilt is, I think, everybody's nemesis. I think Top Step X, if you do have Top Step and you got the Top Step X platform, a good thing to help avoid our tilt is the lockout button. So I do show it every time that I do use it. It's this button right here on the top. I don't know if it's showing. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's right here. So this button all the way to the right on the top is this lockout button. So I set a personal daily loss limit on my XFAs and on that stuff. So we're open now. I'm literally not going to do anything. I want to see what's going to happen with this market, so I'll kind of continue to talk. This is the overnight high. This is the all-time high. This is the overnight low. And we have the previous all-time high, this gray line here. So I want to see some sort of pullback. Maybe if you were going to continue this long. Do I think that the overnight low gets tagged and faded? Maybe. So we'll look to see if that'll come into play and try our strategy and then try and take that through all-time highs and beyond. That's the kind of thought process I'm having. Like I said, I think we do have up to 19,400. Maybe not this week, but that's probably the next target overhead. So yeah, to avoid the discipline rules, set a personal loss limit, right? Your personal loss limit, call it $500. I have it on my XFAs. I don't quite have it on the combines because I'm a little bit more aggressive with my combines since I know I can pass them pretty quickly. With the combines, or with anything, I set a daily loss limit for myself. So if the daily loss limit is 1,000, I'll set it to 500. I'll set my loss limit to 500. My max trade risk usually is only about 250, so it gives me 2 full losses. I normally won't take a full loss. If I do take a full loss, it means that the trade didn't move the right way, or it just kind of like wicked in, wicked out. I'm usually very quick to mitigate, so I'm trying to cut my losers really, really quick. I'm the type of trader that wants this thing to move in my direction immediately, and if not, then I want to try and cut it. So a way to avoid my tilt is to set that personal loss limit to that $500 for the day. If I hit it, I manually log myself out. So I can't physically go in and just keep hammering that button, right? It limits your risk because then when the days I do have good days, I'm blowing out $500 losses, right? So, and then my winning day percentage normally is in that 70-80%. So even closer up into the, with the daily winning percentages, usually I'm only losing one day every few days, 1 day, 2 days a week, if that. So if you can limit those little days to small losers, to that $500 loser, and just get rid of it, lock yourself out. And then upside, if you see that you're away from your A+ criteria, you're up, let's call it, you're up 500 or up 1,000 or whatever. You shouldn't really limit your upside potential, but if you start to see that your setups aren't coming and you're getting tempted to get in, hit that lockout button, lock yourself out. Or if you don't have Top Step X, find whatever platform you have and get rid of that temptation. Shut the computer off. Do something that's going to physically, viscerally make you have to do it. And the more you do it, since you have Top Step X, my encouragement to anybody besides Top Step X, right? Top Step X has that lockout button. So click the lockout button. Having to click that button pulls that tilt feeling off of your chest. It's such a big relief. I'd say try it today or try it whenever you get a chance, Scrooge, to hit the button if you can. You're going to start to feel like, okay, I went out of my way to click that button, to turn myself off, turn the tilt off. You start to feel the heat, start to feel like you're getting a little sweaty. You're starting to get that I need to trade, I need to click that button. Instead of clicking these buttons down here to buy and sell, click the lockout button. You'll immediately feel that like that deep breath. You could take a breath, you could relax, and then you could say, okay, I'm not seeing it. After you hit that button, you can't trade, you can't click buttons, so you have to just like walk away, and that's the best thing to do. You could always trade tomorrow. I know it's you want to do it now, you want to make all the money now, you want to go out of your way to be able to make back those losses. But when you're in that mental state where you are trying to make back those losses, you're never going to make them back because you're just going to continually see things that aren't actually there, right? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 100%. We all do it. I think everybody does it. Even if you went over and watched Top Step TV, they're doing it. I mean, the owner of the company does it. He tilts out. It just happens. There's something about human psychology that's almost an unavoidable reality of it. If I step out for a second in a few, I have a trader coming over. One of the guys from the room is going to be here in a few minutes. Yeah, so if your best trading is 7 to 9 a.m., make the trades, see where your setup is, see what your A+. The best thing you could do is say, okay, what is my A+ setup, right? My A+ setup personally are these overnight levels, right? We haven't come anywhere near them right now. We're on VWAP, so really I'm not looking to execute right now. So the best thing you can do is say, okay, where are the levels that I really want to be interested in? Am I close to them or not? Yes? Okay, then I'll stay interested. I'll stay looking. Am I away from them? Is it kind of dancing around VWAP? Is it very choppy? Could price do something? Yes, it could. You'll miss it? Sure. But it's not part of your A+ strategy, so you shouldn't even be thinking about it. So the amount of time, if it only works 7 to 9, get on at 7, make your trades, see what you got coming, see where your levels are at. You know, come close to 9 o'clock. If you're nowhere near your levels, just shut it off, lock yourself out, no matter where you are profit wise. And then you'll start to see that consistency will come, consistency, and then you'll start to be able to build it up. Yeah, so you can, yeah, especially if you're not streaming, right? Like, I mean, you stream, but if you're not streaming and you don't have like people that are out here looking to get you to talk about their levels or educating or whatever, you don't have to look at the chart, right? Like, you could settle if you're only playing where the moving averages move and cross on a 30 and a 1 and they confirm each other. Then just set alerts on TradingView. I mean, you get the alerts pretty quickly on TradingView, especially in that like sense, like front run your alerts to, let's say, a level or whatever. And once you get the alert on your phone, go to your screen, set it up, and we'll go from there. I think Ray is close. Ray is close. Good thing the price is not doing anything. It's keeping us out of here. He's close. Not here yet, but I'm gonna stick. I mean, I'm not getting anything here. Also, I'm not gonna take a failure at this level on the overnight level. Because I'm not trusting this right now. We could absolutely explode out of this all-time high, and I don't want to get involved in that. If we come into the overnight low, I'm more interested in like that as a dip buy opportunity and a failure in a rotation. So even though, yes, this would normally be an A+ type, like, okay, fail breakout, take that short through the overnight high, I might take it if it really indicates to me that maybe there's a delta divergence that's like unavoidable or whatever. But right now, I mean, we are kind of just lingering here on top of the opening range. Russell in the middle of the opening range, S&P middle of the opening range. So nothing really moving. We don't have much data today to come out on the economic calendar. We had initial jobless, which came out slightly higher than anticipated. So, you know, more people don't have jobs, kind of normal. It's not really going to indicate us to do either direction. Short squeeze espresso. Okay, so there's been 2 rate cuts. ECB cut this morning and Canada cut yesterday. So if the US is going to also do the same, watch out for it. I don't know if it's going to be really much of anything. I don't know. If, realistically, they probably shouldn't be cutting. But they probably will just for the election season. Morning, everybody on YouTube. I got the fresh slick back today. No hat, no headband. We're just rocking and rolling with the very tight range here. We're up on that 108 area that I'm interested in. You can see this is the resistance here. You're going to probably get up and over that. We'll see what happens when we do. All-time highs, overnight highs. Upper band of VWAP is right here. Maybe I'll leave this screen up for you guys for a few. These are the areas last night that I was interested in. Overnight high and overnight low for most of the night until it started to whip out of the range. And rising wedge, rising wedge. Really not a lot going on. S&P is cracking the high. Russell's starting to creep up to the opening range high. Not a lot going on there. VWAP, V upper band, lower band. I think we kind of dance around until something gives us a reason to get out. Nvidia just broke through pre-market highs, so watch out for the Nvidia pump. Meta also wicking the high of pre-market, kind of just lingering around there as well. There was some Meta news. What was the Meta news? Facing complaints in Europe over plan to use user data for AI. Focus today. Meta's AI project faces privacy complaints. That's not really bad. Apple dipping down into the lows. Microsoft held that 422.50 and is pushing up over pre-market highs as well. So Microsoft has up to 427.15 for resistance overhead. I think we do get I would have a feeling that we do break highs at some point. Do I think we hold those highs? I don't know. Do I think that the overnight low may act as a bounce point? Probably. Do we get all the way there? Probably, maybe not. We might bounce off of 70, maybe even 80, that previous day high. Let me set this up real quick. It seems okay there. Whole lot of nothing here, everybody. This is like where I feel like a lot of people are just uninterested in being wrong, right? I feel like buyers don't want to buy right now because they're afraid that the shorts are going to just absolutely dump them off. Shorts don't want to short right now because we're in all-time highs, and we tend to do these blowout top breakouts, right? So S&P's is pushing up right into that overnight high level. See what happens at 53.72 3/4. If it breaks and holds, then watch for NQ to follow up. If it fails, watch NQ to rotate down through VWAP. This is going to be indicating where we're going to probably end up. $56% long on the tilt. I am going to be, like I said, this is what keeps me out of bad trades. Waiting for my levels to come in. None of them have been touched. VWAP is great and all, but it also is just a magnet. Nvidia is selling off pretty heavily. Some of these other indexes apparently are pushing up. Like the S&P is breaking through highs, Russell trying to break through highs, and NASDAQ is lingering behind. So yesterday, NASDAQ lagged and was the leader to the high side. Today, it's lagging more of the lower end of the opening range. So, it's the high end of the opening range, but it's still in the opening range while everything else is breaking out of the high side. So I would be interested to see what happened above 108 and then above these highs. That's really what I want. I want to see something happen in this range. But right now, all these other indexes are pumping, and NQ is not. And that's all to do because of this right here. Mr. Nvidia. Mr. Nvidia is the key to everything here. Going to say that you can see the divergence here. And S&P is breaking overnight highs. NQ trying to break through VWAP to the downside. There is a divergence here. So if you reject this level here to rotate down, I did say that VWAP probably goes on the NQs, especially because Nvidia failed to break. It broke the overnight high, the pre-market high, and then it failed just now. Now it's rotating to the downside. I think NVIDIA does have some downside to go here. Let's see. Do we have a support on this trend line at all? Oh. Okay. There it goes. Broke VWAP. Alrighty. So don't be trapped by these other indexes like we were yesterday a little bit. Looks like the NQ is going to lead us downside now. It's right sitting on that lower end, that previous day high. So watch that. NVIDIA does have down until like 1220 before there's some support could come into play. So it could fail this pre-market low, come into 1220, 1210, and then start to rotate back up. Okay, we're still on that page there. We are going to look to see what happens at this overnight low, see if that'll give you a bounce or if it's going to break and continue to sell. Like sellers started to pour in. I noticed that this is heavier than this, right? I talked about the divergences. I talked about when S&P gets to a key level and fails, then the NQ leading us downside would probably give up and fail VWAP, which is pretty much exactly what just happened, right? So everything lined up to how we were talking about it. I am going to look and see what happens at these overnight lows, see if we can wick through, get a delta divergence of any sort. And I mentioned I would be more inclined to buy the bottom than to sell the high. This is that key level that I mentioned probably would stop at, and it did. It's 1967.75. It's a stronger push straight up. NVIDIA is right at pre-market lows, previous day high. Now you could just be mindful of it. All right, give me 2 minutes. If I miss the trade, I missed the trade, but watch that overnight low, see if they'll end up coming down to it. If not, I think we can, now that you've gotten this divergence, this sweep of the low, I bet you overnight highs can come into play. Just give me a minute. pushing down again. This is your digs right here. Got your own chair. Say hi to the people.
Where's the camera?
It's in the middle.
Yeah.
You can see it. All right. Resetting up. The rebuilt computers under there and everything. I didn't get a chance to fix it. Yeah, bits and pieces of computer everywhere. Alrighty. And this is the life here.
It's not bad.
So your 108 level actually just perfect to short if you wanted to do that at all. I was gonna find the other monitor that I had, but I don't know where I put it. It's somewhere downstairs. You could have hooked up into another monitor.
I got everything I need right here, baby.
Oh, well, then you could also see these screens too.
Yeah.
So if you needed to execute off of it.
Wi-Fi.
Lorenzimus. And I'll tell you since it's on my stream, I guess. Even though I don't expect anybody to be hacking my. I think that's it. Yes, you're good. Beautiful. So how long did it actually take? 4 hours?
4:45. Yeah, I left at 4 o'clock.
God, that's a long ride. This guy is dedicated to trading in person. He's here 4 hours, 45-minute drive from Louisiana to Houston, just to trade, not to coach baseball or anything else. Just just to hang out. It's true love. Delta's pretty heavy still, but we're sitting on the lower band of VWAP and that a 19,067.75 low of early in the late night hours, overnight session. Just kind of trying to crack it now. Delta getting heavy again. How do you have your quant tower set? You just have it on the side?
Mm-hmm. So I literally
just leave it there.
Watching here.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be watching Delta once this is up. Let me see if this locks in though to the top strap. Oh, there
you go.
That's fast.
Yeah, it's quick.
Alright, so let's go.
That's one thing about Texas and over here. I've noticed that the Wi-Fi, I don't know if it's New York just like throttles it and stuff, but I was having so many issues with Wi-Fi shit in New York.
We lose so much power down here.
We do lose power a lot. That's why I always warn it in the chat. I'm like, it's cloudy out. It might become
we might
huge. We might just disappear because of the storm. But yeah, need this overnight low to get wicked, and then I'll think about the long, because Nvidia just bouncing right now off of its major support line on this uptrend. So until it cracks this down, it just cracked it, but I don't know if it's going to crack and hold. We got to see if it's going to hold. There is support from yesterday right here at the 1200 even. So Nvidia is getting really heavy. Rolling over.
Overnight low, you got at 19,055.
I have overnight low at 19,057 and a quarter. So 55 could be close enough. I used the after 1700 hour. Because at 1504, technically that's at 5-1. I don't like the aftermarket, like that post-market trading between 3 and 4. Let me see.
So we didn't quite make it to overnight high.
No, we didn't make it there.
Right.
But we made it to that 108. So that was the previous overnight high, that 108 for a while. And then at 7, it wicked up. Okay, so we're going into the overnight low.
Tib is heavy short.
Nvidia is still holding down, so I'm going to be cautious. It's still getting right through the overnight low. Alrighty. But it is a nice little wedgie. A little bit. I do like that. It's so hard with these all-time high levels to make really, really good decisions, but just purely based on the strategy, my problem is I think we have down into like 19,030. 2.25. If Nvidia just holds this, you see over here, you can see that if it holds under this trend line crack below yesterday's support, we'll put it on both screens here. It's going to probably keep going, and I don't know if it has support at 11.53 in a bounce, or if it kind of stops right where we're at right now. But at 11.53 was like a really major, strong resistance point until it broke yesterday or 2 days ago. All right, we're trying to bounce off of this 1200, and it's just dancing around a lot. I'm gonna be patient. That's weird. Yeah, it's super heavy. It's not something I really want to get in front of right now. Do I trust it for a short either? That's the hard part. Like that's what I was talking about before you got here. There is just like I feel like a really big indecision between sellers wanting to not sell because they're afraid that it's going to rip the high off, and then buyers afraid to buy because they're going to think this selling is going to come in, right? So it's going to be like people are waiting. The 15-minute mark was here, so I mean, really, I was talking about it too. I don't know if you got on it all on the ride, but I was watching the S&Ps get up to its overnight high, and I said if it fails it, because NQ is lagging, it didn't even come close to the overnight high. I said that if S&Ps hits this and fails, then it's going to roll over. So you did have an opportunity if you were going to take that, which I don't take away from that level. But that 108 was perfect to short down to the overnight low. And you really would have never took any heat. It would have. I mean, really, you wouldn't have taken it until the S&Ps got to the high, which it got to the high at 44, 45. So at 45, if you would have took the short immediately right there at 44, then you would have never took any heat. It would have immediately dropped. Just because it was waiting. S&Ps hit it, failed, and then NQ just wedged out and failed. So you would have been able to take it immediately and been still safe. But NVIDIA is really just selling off really hard right now. So NVIDIA broke through the 12, and now it's pushing down into 11.94, 93. But NVIDIA like whips around like NASDAQ does. So it could come into down into and then just start running. But I think 11.53.95 gets hit if it does. So yesterday's low is 11.75. Kind of notate that. Yesterday's low and yesterday's pre-market low is right there. So I'm going to give that little zone a shot. When you're at home, you're on a computer? Or yeah, you got double screens? Sweet.
Yeah, and then the first time actually taking trades from the laptop.
Oh, hell yeah. Going to push right into the previous all-time high. My short bias is so built into my mentality at the moment, and it's so hard. Should have took it. I mean, it really didn't have an entry. It was so close to view out that I couldn't execute it. I'm cool with not taking anything today. That's not a terrible thing. But this overnight low, if it comes back up over it, starts to accept. If NVIDIA decides to get over that little trend line support, or even over this this level here. Let's see, I go this level here. So these kids just get dropped off and then like.
Well, they're 18, so
oh, okay.
Themselves. So yeah, they're gonna be stuck at the airport for a little bit.
They'll live. Did they ask you to pick them up?
Well, they don't have a ride, but there's 4 of them. Then like 4 of you guys isn't
gonna fit. Yeah, they gotta start pulling NYPD baseball stuff and just
seriously figure it out.
Uber, figure it out, guys. Just get to the field. All right, pushing into the previous all-time high. This white line at 19,023 quarter. What we got? Canada IV PMI reported at 52. What do I care about Canada? I don't have Canada stuff on here. Why isn't it alert? Interesting. So Canada's inflation is really coming down. Whole lot of nothing yet. We're going to see what happens with this overnight low if it comes back up over that. I would like to see NVIDIA to get over 1,200. Yeah, go ahead. If you go out and right to the left. This is a long ride. The wife will get us some water too in a minute. She's just hanging out with the boys. I like this overnight low to get bounced. See what happens at NVIDIA at 1200. If NVIDIA can immediately recover 1200, a rotation back to the high side does make some sense. Volume node here. We're back into at least some semblance of an area to have some bit of levels, but not much because this is very choppy here. That's chopped. Really, I would like it to be more here. Something in that range, something over here. Just kind of throwing some levels around on this quant tower. Okay. So that lower band of VWAP is getting reaccepted. We flushed it. Now we're kind of holding above it. See if it'll hold and continue. Russell's creeping down still, and S&P's is trying to click back up. And NVIDIA's right at 1200. So 1200 just recovered. So if we can hold above 1200, I think this overnight low maybe gives us back.
Stop's too wide.
Yeah, it's a little bit wide. Could just take an aggressive entry on it, but I think we could take one more push to the downside before we decide to do this. Like if it can wick us into the previous all-time high and then come back up, that would make some sense.
What do you have that as? 982?
Previous all-time high is 19,023 and a quarter. Yeah, and then current overnight low, we're sitting just above it. I mean, we would take not much heat on that either, but I just don't have the conviction of it because I need to see if NVIDIA will hold this level or if it's going to fail it again. Because if NVIDIA gets back above this trend line break, this crude trend line break that it just did, and if it holds, then maybe it rotates back up. But if it doesn't and fails it and rotates back down through 1200, then down into this 1174 it goes, and then the NQ is going to follow that because apparently we only trade the NVIDIA futures, it seems. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I want to see this crack this low again. If we can crack the low again, get down into 19,040, 19,050 in this range here, then you could limit your risk below that little swing, and then it can possibly rotate it back to the highs and beyond. 19,076, 50. I kind of drew that up as an important level on the 15-minute. It's where it kind of stopped. I don't trust this move at all, but I did say that we could come right into, when we were sitting here, right, 19,032.50, and it came to a tick. The bottom end of these bodies here on the 30, it came right to that level. So I was just kind of eyeballing this right here, that bottom end of these wicks, bottom end of these bodies, and we came right into that 30 level and bounced. So that's what I was looking at there. So I don't have Ray to tell me what screen is wrong. So if I'm on the wrong screen, somebody else has to take the reins. I don't. He's sitting next to me, so he's going to see the same screens I do, which is nothing. I pop it up and down sometimes over here just to make sure. So it's over here when you're like, oh, it's on the wrong screen. I click to this. I'm like, fuck, it's on the wrong screen. But
Dude, I like this. Shut that shit right back on that open eye.
Yeah. It's possible.
I mean, if I risk just to the top of that candle.
It's not a terrible trade. I think the heaviness, I mean, Russell is really selling off pretty hard. So Russell's selling off. NVIDIA is rejecting that 1200, 1208. Yeah, I think you have a good chance there, short of the overnight low, and then see where it goes from there. Yeah, go for it. I don't think it's a terrible risk to reward.
I'll clip this short to come back up off the bounce.
And NVIDIA is absolutely now just grabbing some liquidity over that, still rejecting that trend line. So if it gets back up over, if NVIDIA gets over 1212, then your trade might be invalidated. So we're just going to watch it. 1212, 1213. But it looks like it's getting heavy off this level. So you should be good. You should be good. There's the heaviness in NVIDIA. We got to get down below 1200, and that should give you the flush to the previous day, previous all-time high. So we're approaching 1200. Let's see if Ray's trail will play out.
You hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself. It's weird. All right.
345 risk. So I'm gonna leave it that long.
What's Delta? Delta's creeping back up.
Uh,
You cut it?
no,
All right,
I
yeah,
short
that's good.
230. Can't bounce from there.
That was a nice little wick off on the low. Came right to this. So I just drew these lines up. You saw me draw them, and it came and ticked this
Yeah.
and took off on it. So it's obviously reactive. I don't know. Let me see what happened here. Wick, 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 wick. Bounce play. Kind of like a good amount of room away from this pullback. Still the top end of the breakout point there. So that's what I'm looking at with that. I don't think you're not quite 100% wrong with the short idea. S&P's is below VWAP. We're still below VWAP on the NQ, so usually I use that as a guide. NVIDIA just pumped into that 213 level, so that would have been something that would have been cautious, like because it's over that trend line, but it could come back in here and then rotate out. But it pulled back to that 1200 again, and now it's trying to re-accept in, so it might still go to the high side. So realistically, cutting it short was the right call. But the idea behind it wasn't terrible. So like execution wise, it's not a bad trade. Do you normally use volume profile on the Quant Tower?
Not really.
So I
It's
like
more just delta, a little bit of the tilt. And,
yeah. So I use
and then
these.
just off the
If
5 mega levels.
you can see these. I use this as it's the right profile. It's just like all the volume, but you can see this is the numbers that are on here is like how many orders have been executed there. So I usually use that as like when I say, okay, it's going to come up to like 80 and then fail and then rotate down. I usually use these high volume nodes because they're magnets. They come up to them, they tag them, and then they just rip out. So this one might get tagged and continue on, but it's still like once there's like mountains, I call it like it's like these nodes here. The higher volume nodes attract price, and then if there's less volume here, it usually just pushes through without like a lot of resistance. So that's like another way I time a lot of things where I'm like, all right, so if you're timing it based on the volume nodes, you're at the volume node, you're at like the delta point where you want to be, everything kind of is lining up correctly, and then you have like a valley. You could pretty much say that if it breaks through this level at this time, because of everything lining up, it should just shoot to the other end of that valley because there's nobody in the middle to take the orders, really. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at with those. So your short was still valid by a couple ticks, but it's just chopping around. So it's better to cut it and not want to be in anymore. NVIDIA looking like it's trying to sell through this 1210. You can see it right here. You can see this NVIDIA selling from that trend line crack. It came back, retested it. If it gets down through 1200, then the overnight low might go on the NQ. I just cracked my elbow on this. So the delay is not that terrible. It's a couple seconds.
On this?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the shorts.
I do too, and I'm gonna take it.
I know you
are. It's already the order
it's sitting there already. That's good. I like it. Yeah, I'll take it.
In.
Let me see.
I'm risking to the top. That's 315. But again, I wouldn't take a full loss on it.
Order rejected.
God, it just doesn't want to break.
Doesn't want to break. It's purely based on NVIDIA. S&P's just creeped up over the
this one I got
the VWAP.
I still have one other combine. Made a couple $100 last night trying some overnight stuff.
I did too. I wasn't gonna buy one of those $25 ones, but I was like,
I had to.
it was already there, so it was in the cart. What's wrong with that? The 67, 75 level delta still lingering lower. I think it's not following through.
There now. I'm about to be out of this.
Cancel that. I'm canceling my order. It never got in. Never got triggered. I'm gonna wait. I love these lows. I like the short, but also at the same time, everything's starting to creep back up.
Delta's not really helping it.
I'm watching this Delta. It's starting to creep a little bit to the high side, but it's not giving you that fall. There's actually that pop. Yeah, there's the pop.
0 for 2.
I don't hate your short twice. With that strong handle, with the way that Nvidia is failing this level here after it has broken down. So but look at how much it sold off.
Mm-hmm.
So Nvidia might just dance around here in these levels from yesterday. Previous day high is 1223, 1224. We'll call it. Let's see if Top Step gives away any fire drills or anything today. I always have them on in the background because it's always worth giving that bit to everybody. Alrighty, 19,076. That's the high. Let's see if Nvidia gives up this time. Then we probably will get short.
I don't have a whole lot of drawdown left.
Yeah.
Because of how I have it set, I just have to trade the other combine.
I feel like it's tricking us into shorts though. Like yesterday was just a dupe, and then it skyrocketed. Russell's dancing around. So when I talk about like the Russell and stuff, I'm always have it on like the other end of my quant tower.
Mm-hmm.
So the Russell is always here, and I kind of just watch to see which way it goes. It's more of a broad market index, small cap stuff. I'm gonna get rid of that. Previous day high. That long idea from our normal long strategy here, break through the overnight low. I wanted to get deeper and then come back to VWAP. That's the long idea that could give us the pop to the overnight high, but it's gonna just chop around I think a lot today. Save that last bullet for a minute. Let's see what happens at the 108s. 19,108. That could give you that failed break to the high side, then give you the short from there if it gets there. If you're over on YouTube, hit the like, subscribe, whatever the whole thing is there. Help out the algorithm a little bit. And then if you're over there, click the link in the chat. Go to TradeCats or create a free account and watch us free live all the time. It's just a streaming service for traders, by traders. So you get only traders. You don't have to click around YouTube looking for things to do. It'll be there. So now it's getting heavy again. I'll shoot my shot short at it if it gets through the overnight low. I don't want to get wicked in though. So I'm going to leave it up there. Let's see what NVIDIA does at these levels, 1210, 1213. I do want NVIDIA to break 1200 for it to help me to the downside. That's the one thing. So 19,076.50 is the kind of like the bottom end of the consolidation for the entire overnight. So that's where I had that set minus the wicks. This is the 30. If you go down to the 15, it's kind of, you can see it's more secured. You get down to the 5, even more so. I mean, maybe could even get a little bit deeper into it. More precise would be probably like 74, which is where we come to. We just came to 79, which is the previous day high. 74 quarters. It's the very top end. I don't have a ton of things on the time and sales. I don't have any large order sizes getting filled. Price is speeding up around here right now, though. So it is wedging. Delta's getting heavier. Price is dancing a bit. I want to see what's on that surface. See if there's any resting orders. I don't want NQ. I want ENQ M24. I'll set my settings to 100. I like to check this every once in a while to see what I got going on as far as resting orders are concerned. Overhead, there's a 100 lot sitting at 80. So there's probably going to be a magnet to that 19,080 if it does get close to that. See if that gets filled or not. 100 lot, 150 lot, so it's kind of dancing around here. You can see this like the heat map here, and then the reds are usually bigger size orders. That red order there's 150 lot. It keeps like flashing and kind of disappearing because there's 100 lot that's sitting there. 100 lot, 100 lot, 100 lot. So there's probably 100 lot and a 50 lot that keeps flashing. So that a lot of times price likes to get to it, or it'll run away from it depending on. Oh, okay. Let's see what happens. Nvidia just got the 1200. If it cracks and holds, then we're gonna get short. But if not, then this is gonna be a manipulation move, and we're gonna get pumped. That was a really wicky candle there. Delta is heavy though, and price is not following through. So which is going to catch up? Is 1200 going to be the key level for Nvidia or not? I mean, it seems like it already is. It's just not breaking. It's just sitting right on top of it. Not trying to catch too much here. I'd like to get down to that previous all-time high. So we are going to get short. We are short now. Let's see if this is the right timing. Okay, it's getting heavier. Let's go. Nvidia broke 1200, so we are short. I'll run these sirens. Why not? We're here. We're here.
So you can't hear your own sirens?
Nope, I can't hear it. That's why I get like, did it run? I don't know if it did.
Mm-mm.
There we are. Running the sirens. That was a wiki bottom. Could be manipulative. I lowered them. It just ran once and that was it. So I lowered the volume on them. Maybe they got turned off. But they're on. And we're running this trade, letting it go, seeing if it'll fail and hold below 1200. If Nvidia can hold below 1200, then we should be good on this short. But that was very slow. Delta is really heavy, and price is not following through, but that's that lower band of VWAP kind of holding this up a little bit. Everything else still downside pressure, so downside pressure it is currently. See if we can get through this low end of this 46. If we can get through 46, I'll go to even. Seems like it's going to dance around a bit, though. Nvidia holding 1200. I'm going to cut my risk in half and go to the top end of that candle because I feel like it's going to pop off of this. Get through the low of 46 and a quarter and I'll get to even. That's my game plan on this. Not taking a full loss on it. I'm trying not to take a full loss on it. It's only going to be about 185 I'm risking right now. Just the high end of this candle because I feel like if it breaks this high, it's probably going to run. And Nvidia is holding 1200. So that's basically what we got here. This price action is solely based on Nvidia not giving up 1200 and it's just dancing around at that level. So whatever it does, if it does choose to sell, then we should be good. It looks like it's going. It's going. It's heavy, but it's stopping. Come on, get heavy fast. I like to be right quick. There we go. Come on, get heavy. Oh. Man, it looks like it's too dancy. Yeah, we're out. I'm gonna be out on that one. There was no reason to be in that long there. The way that didn't work out kind of wants me to be long. I want to almost immediately flip.
Right above, VWAP was right above it.
Yeah.
So which is the yellow bands are your...
So this yellow band is the VWAP. This blue here is the lower band. And the upper band, it's one standard deviation off. Everything is kind of creeping back high side. Nvidia, I don't know. I'm gonna be patient and wait. Let this thing decide a direction first.
I locked the other one out.
You locked it?
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
it's not locked,
yeah.
I'm keeping...
Yeah, that's smart. Did you take a win on that, or a
This is
break
from-
even?
this is from
Oh,
last
that's from
night.
last night. There it is.
I'm gonna take a shot at it. Just to the top of that. Come on, just give it up.
Nvidia is still very heavy. There it goes. I'm gonna add to this below 48 if it goes. And I'm gonna take one off quick. Yeah.
Fast enough anyway.
No, not fast enough at all. You can see Delta's super heavy though. I mean, it's like making new lows on Delta. So if it can get through 49.50, then should give you a little bit heavier push. Oh my God, Nvidia, get over it. I'm not gonna add. Cancel that. Buy the ticket, take the ride. Right? Let this thing go. Let it take its run to the downside. If it's gonna go, it's gonna go. Nvidia is giving up the high now. I'm actually not gonna do that. Gonna cut this shit at 90 bucks. I'm gonna take a little small loser on this if it does not break right now, right here, right now. And I'm gonna wait because I do not want to max out that. That is a Nvidia dance around with that level, and actually I'm buying. I'm gonna take my buy. I flipped it. I flipped it immediately right there because I feel like that lack of follow through there is going to give me that push now to the high side. I'm going to see if we can get all the way up through overnight highs, through all-time highs. I'm going to leave that stop down there at the low. Did you see that Delta candle pop?
Yeah, huge.
Very aggressive buyer came in there. 67.75 was that reacceptance back into the overnight range. That was pretty much the key overnight range. So if we can get back into there above VWAP or into the VWAP area, we should be able to follow through a little bit to the high side. So cut my two short ideas short to less than full losers, and then attempt the long on the lack of follow through, and then the Nvidia just holding 1200 as support for a buy. So if Nvidia just can blow off this high side end, then we should be in good shape with this long. The entry is good. The overnight low is the stop. We have pretty much accepted back into the overnight range. S&P's is back over the VWAP, so leading us higher. You can see how quick my bias turns. Well, normally I'm long biased off of the overnight lows. And if I can't get a follow through, that's basically telling me that my normal strategy is going to work, right? If my overnight low break, right? So now I'll be at even since I was at 1-to-1, and now I'm just going to let it go and see if I can get this thing to rotate through up into the highs based on Nvidia catching that bid. I think Nvidia could really rip us up. I think technically I got to be in that range there with a little bit of a loss. But if we hit VWAP and reject, then whatever. It is what it is. But I think we can get through it. And the high end of that range is that 108 level. So we just hit off on the opening range low. We're at VWAP. If we can get and hold above VWAP, we have really strong delta. That's the thing. Really strong delta. S&P is still pushing upside a little bit. Caught a little bit of resistance there. But I think it could hit off on 72.75. So if it hits off on 72.75, this should push up into almost 108. Nvidia is still stepping to the upside. So until Nvidia just shows me any sort of turnaround, then we are still safe in our trade here. I'm just staying at break even. If it does come back and tag me out, then I'll be okay with that, because I do think there's a lot of upside to this in the overall scheme of things, just based on overnight high, all-time high trades. People tend to like to pump it. And VWAP is rejecting nice. Delta is heavy. Yep, opening range low. VWAP. High volume node at 80. 80s like to sell, so it'll probably get stopped at break even. It would have been nice to be entered at the overnight low, right where we like to enter, right, based on our strategy. But it's kind of one of those days. Did you?
No, I was gonna short.
You like to short the VWAP, right?
But I don't have it on Quantower.
You don't have VWAP? Oh yeah, I don't know why. It
This
doesn't.
one is trash. I never use the top edge.
Yeah, you either have to like zoom out like all the time, and then it resets itself, or I don't know what the Top Step X VWAP does, but it's not the best. I hate to not let this thing play, but it's gonna sell off, and well, to one tick away.
Yeah.
And Nvidia is selling, but now it caught a little bit of a bounce. Could that be the bottom? Could that be the bottom? Could my stop be one tick? Black coffee good for you?
Sure.
Silver or gold?
You
You're
surprised
gold
me.
culture, baby.
There you go.
Gold
Thank you.
culture. Thank you.
You guys have water?
No, we don't. If you could, that would be nice.
Can you
He's got.
you have one?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want one with the ice on it?
No, thank you.
Look at that stop location. Beautiful. If we can get through the highs now, we're gonna be okay. I didn't move it. I promise I didn't move it. Just left it where it is.
One tick away.
One tick. Sometimes you get good with your stops. Sometimes you get wicked out. Oh wow, that was a nice sell. We're gonna be done. That on that kind of sell there.
I really wanted to show that.
That was a nice idea. I like the VWAP idea. I just don't have it in my book. So we went from trying to let that play out to getting stopped at even, because just based on the NVIDIA move, I bet you it now rotates back, but I'm not going to hammer into it too many times. Down 260, so less than one full loser on this account, which is, you know.
This is the time to do it. Well,
Yeah.
no, let it work off the overnight low again. Or overnight.
Yeah, I'm still working on these combines. I'm not trying to fuck around with my XFAs in all-time high territories. So trying to maximize the funding here. Let's see, NVIDIA's still going. There's that stop run, and then gotcha, bitch.
Let's try it.
What are you taking?
That long.
Taking the long off the low? Did you get triggered, or
I'm triggered.
oh, you're in? Hell yeah. I'm not going to chase it, but it's probably going to go now.
I'm only taking it to the previous or to the opening range, bro. That's only 11
Thanks.
points.
He's still sleeping? Man, it must have been that swimming that got him.
Do you need anything? No, okay.
The personal assistant came in and brought all the stuff.
Oh,
Hey,
wrong account.
which one is that?
The one that I didn't want to take any trades on.
Did it win at least a little
I
bit?
just clipped it. I bought myself another trade actually.
Oh, that's good. Take it.
That's the one I didn't want to trade on because I didn't want that drawdown.
That's the hard part
Holy
when you're
crap.
managing multiple accounts.
Yep.
You have to really. So I always like. So I did it once where when I was funded on the with one of the XFAs, I was like, all right, good. We're gonna take this trade on the XFA. It was like a great trade, and it was on the combine. I was like, oops, fuck, damn, I missed out on it.
Yeah. And this is probably gonna go now. Of course it is, but I just couldn't keep it open.
It might not. It might just chop here. Got some support there. The overnight low could go.
I had a pretty decent entry too. I was in at 70.
See what happens with this delta.
I'm gonna be patient.
Yep, be patient. Be patient. Yeah, it's all about one good trade. I don't know where the book is. It's in my old bedroom. The One Good Trade book. It's actually really pretty good.
I gotta close that back.
Delta divergence on that. Well, not divergence, but we haven't made new highs yet. But this delta is getting heavy again. From the previous day high, acting as resistance. If you get up overview up and then fail that level again, maybe. I think the NVIDIA is just going to take off to the moon, to be honest with you.
High and low. Like once it breaks up
Yeah.
or low.
Yeah. Once it breaks here,
Yeah.
it's going to go. I mean, it's just NVIDIA. This is just like I feel like this is profit taking and then a trick. And then, so the stock split 10-1 tomorrow. It's going to end up being $120 and just change a share. Then there's going to be some pullback on that. Yeah. Okay. Previous day high still holding. Delta though flattened out. So price trying to push up. If it can push up into that opening range low again, maybe this does go.
Look off and come back down. Which view up?
Sitting at VWAP.
Sitting on it. Actually, the top stuff view up is actually accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate now. There is a low volume lull here into 90.25. That's the next volume area that I'm interested in. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't take the long from the overnight lows. On that?
Everything was telling you to sell.
Yeah, it was.
And the Nvidia was down.
It was.
Russell was pushing down.
Nvidia is so manipulative right now, because right now it's like at a point where it's either gonna break or it's gonna bounce. I think Nvidia still goes. I feel Nvidia doesn't. It's not time for it to sell off. Maybe tomorrow because of the stock split. They'll split it. The price will be different. People will sell.
I just don't like the way this looks. Like I want this all the way back down to like 977.
Yeah.
Way back down.
Yeah, I like it lower. I mean, but also like all-time highs, it's so difficult to trade. I don't really have a great feel for all-time high stuff. There's that go.
That's what I want to see right there.
S&P is heavier now, so we're accepted back into the range between 76 and 108. See what happens at 108. That was that initial sell point. I got stopped by that last little candle here, and I considered re-entering on that low. I could have, but I did. You did on the wrong account, and it's good that you know what? Honestly, you built a good habit there. You're on the wrong account. You hit the trade. Once you realize it, you got to bang out of it. You have to get out of those accounts. That's a good learning lesson that Ray's got going on over there. With if you enter in something on the wrong account or you make a fat finger mistake, don't just like let it play out, because it's not what you wanted to do. So you should never be doing things that you don't want to do. If it works, then it's just going to build a bad habit, right? There's that wick off there. VWAP wick. We both saw it.
This is cheap too. It's only 165 to take to the top of the candle.
It's going to rip right now.
Yeah.
But 90 is that volume node, and then below that is 80. So if 80 gives up, then you can risk to the top of that 250.
Too much more liking at the moment, only because I only have $200 left.
Yeah. It's got to be an A plus. That might be an A for you, but not quite an A plus. We're gonna have to see what happens at the overnight highs, I think.
Let it get,
Yeah.
Even then, the overnight highs is the all-time high.
Yeah, it's all-time highs.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a very odd situation, right? Is it going to be a breakout strategy? I think if 108 gives up, then it probably runs. I think 108 is, like you said, that's a little bit more of a key level than it's 108 and a quarter, 108.50, and then even up into 110 will give you some like serious resistance. If that gives up, if that seller starts to give up, then you probably run into like a burn, like a blow off top type deal. Like I really liked that long from that level, probably up through the high. That's why I wanted to let it breathe and let it do its thing. But once you get to break, like if you're up 1-1 like that, I had to get to even.
When you're on the 1 minute,
Yeah.
You have to kind of move faster.
Yeah, I could have took it. Like that's on a normal day, that would have been out at VWAP. If the S&Ps gives this up, then maybe it goes sell side. But Nvidia is still holding over that 12.12. It didn't really rip though. So
Back above the trend line.
Yeah, it's back above that. This is still strong. Still strong. I think it's going to probably now grind up the rest of the day. So this is kind of how that summer month trading goes a little bit. You'll get some moves to one direction. Then you'll get another like hour of choppy sideways action. And then you'll get a move in the other direction. And then just kind of round and round you go. You just don't get as many like really big pushy moves. Also tomorrow we have non-farm. So I would expect a little bit of muted price action today. I don't know if you get a break from these levels. It may just rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate. It might be a rotational type day, just purely based on that non-farm tomorrow. If the S&Ps gives up this low, but NQ is still gone. What's Microsoft doing? Microsoft pushing to the lows at 422. Support level. Pre-market support level. 422.50 is a very strong level for Microsoft. Apple, DXY, VIX, SPEC, Down to Tesla's popping a little bit from its lows. Meta, Amazon pushing highs. Nvidia. I think Nvidia's a buy. It's crazy to say, oh, Nvidia's a buy at $1,200. Yeah, I'll go buy one share of Nvidia.
Let's not. Oh, that's why
How does it look normally? Is it not that? Is it that small normally? No. Okay, stream's okay.
yeah. Well, because I was
Yeah,
have
yeah.
two screens, I'll keep you up on one.
Sweet.
And I have top the other stuff on the other one.
If you had a ability to change anything about the layout, would you want to see more of? What would you want to see?
Probably this.
Yeah, if or either the charts or try and figure out a way to put Delta on the screen, maybe.
Because where do you watch Delta on?
I watch it on Quant Tower, but I flip back and forth because I don't have. If realistically, if I was going to be doing this without everybody, I would be having my Delta over here, and I would be executing and watching my charts here. So I would have
it.
yeah, and I'm gonna probably put a third screen, like a TV or something, up there, so I can put like all the streaming stuff up there, and then just have my trading stuff down here. But that's when the money comes.
Wow, man.
Damn it.
That is.
What was my average entry on that was 67.
I was in at 70.
You were in at 70? Yeah, I was in at 67. In and out at 67. I made $5 on it. So 67.
Price and Delta moving together, so
Yeah.
anything should happen.
Yeah, this is just a trend. I think it's a developing trend here. From 67 is right here up to where we're at. 108 is right here. That's pretty much exactly the move I wanted to see. Just that last little bit of manipulation off VWAP really kind of just happened. It is what it is. If I risked just to the overnight low and just left it there, I still would have been just fine. But that's just not my strategy. Yeah, Max likes to get mad. He's been sleeping. This is like very late for him to sleep. He doesn't usually sleep this late.
Sick.
No, we swam in the pool like later last night, and he got to bed late, so he probably just exhausted. So the overhead resistance there. Opening range high, at 108 breakdown level. The Russell is kind of curling up though from its lows at the bottom of the opening range. So Russell at the bottom end, S&P at the bottom end of the opening range. We're at the high end of our opening range. If S&P gives the low of this little break here below 53.66, then possibly the rejection of this 108 again comes in. It's kind of not my thing, but it's all-time high strategy now. It's got to develop a whole new strategy for all-time high levels. Down 260.
Or I feel like every 2 weeks we're like making new highs, and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a bull market, I guess. Overall, not seeing a ton. I don't want this to give up on me and then I'm not able to catch it though. I want this to wick up over 108. Give me something in that idea of that 108 level getting tagged and then selling off. But that upper end of that opening range is pretty strong. Stupid short bias caught me.
Dude, from my experience in this thing, it's like when it grinds up, it's like a staircase, like
Yep.
super freaking slow. When this shit melts, it goes hard. So I'd rather be on that side of the.
Oh, I always like to be on that side. Absolutely. I think that's why everybody likes that, or anybody who's a short side seller, it likes that because the moves happen so much faster to the downside than they do to the high side. The only problem here I have is we had this pullback, and then we had a higher low, and then we made a higher high, and we are holding like the strong structure of the low of the range, right? So this whole thing here kind of leads you to believe that that buy side is in. But then, like I said, the S&Ps is heavy, Russell's kind of heavy. Nvidia is the only thing that's pushing up, and that's
It's grindy.
what is helping this, right? Because Microsoft is on its lows, but it's bouncing. Very whippy, very not so useful here. This probably could have acted as a good resistance there. Let's see what happens. 941. No numbers coming out that I'm aware of. 10:30 we have the bill auctions. Natural gas came out. So yeah. I just think that overnight high has to get tagged at some point. You know, it just in market hours, but then does it follow through or do we
They
fail
didn't get it
it?
yesterday. They didn't get up there.
I know.
Well, not till later.
Yeah, it took forever. It took all the way to the end of the day. And then the S&Ps didn't actually get it until after hours.
Like nothing right now.
Nope.
Watch that shit is dead.
Did you do Top Step X Mobile? I downloaded it just to
want
have it.
nothing to do with that.
I know. I don't want it to. I don't want to execute on it really. I took one or two trades just like to see how it works, but I do it here. Top Step X.
So it's not an app. It's still.
It's just a web base, but you can download it and like have it locked into your screen and everything. So
Yeah.
apparently it's
I'm
gonna be
okay
slow.
with not having
Yeah.
that. on my phone.
Normally it's
Shit,
not
even
this
this
slow.
kind of trips me out because I'm so used to trading like on a full system.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. It's weird to trade on something smaller, especially on the phone because it gets clunky. But this is actually pretty useful compared to like some of the other apps I've seen.
Oh.
So the chart's pretty nice. You can trade on the DOM. You get your account stuff. So it's pretty clean. I did
And you try to just the same as that.
it. This
Like trading.
so it doesn't transfer
Oh, so you
to
gotta
this.
recharge
So I did this last night while I was just like messing with it, and like I made that 4 and change on that account, just like messing with the levels, and just trying to see like how you can trail in this, just in case like I enter a trade in here, and then I gotta be like, oh shit, I gotta run or whatever,
Lose power.
and, yeah, lose power or having an emergency backup.
When I was still trading Forex, they used to happen to me all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And now I'm like, how do I get out of this trade? And,
Yep.
And
You
I
have-
like download MT5.
Yeah, you're like, oh god, I gotta get out of this. Yeah. I'm glad you got out of that before it started to collapse. All those forex, like funded forex
Yeah.
places, are starting to disappear, and all those guys are coming to futures. I kind of front ran you on that a little bit. I've been poking you at it for the futures for a while.
It's just cleaner.
It is. It's so much cleaner. It's more regulated. You're gonna have less manipulation. I mean, everything is manipulated, but like those forex brokerages, like they're opening up spreads and
Yeah.
doing wild, wacky shit and commissions
I don't
and
think I've ever
swaps.
slipped on futures.
Nah, you get
I
split.
don't
Yeah,
trade
yeah,
like news and stuff.
yeah. You'll get slipped here and there, but like on one contract, it's especially on S&P and NQ, you're not gonna get it because there's such thick markets. There's people pretty much at every single price point. There's that high of this wedge lingering. S&P's is literally sitting on the VWAP. Just hasn't moved off the VWAP. We are just over the high end of the VWAP. So if we can give up this if S&P starts to rotate down to 53.58, we start to push this below this trend line. If this does want to crack to the downside, then maybe the short is in. But Nvidia is just still grinding.
Come on, double top that and just fail.
Yeah, if it can fail it would be great. That 1200 level was key though. It kind of just manipulated around it and
See, so like take a look at Delta there. Like, see how big that candle was, but Delta kind of just, like a little blip.
Yep. So most of the time, I'll find that when Delta flattens out, it's kind of just buyers and sellers are just pretty indecisive. And then if we're at like this level here, right, we're at a key level, price is not breaking, Delta is kind of just doing the same deal. One of them is going to front run, and I got to see which one first, and then kind of watch to see what kind of movement we're having right now. There's a big size sitting here on at 100, 103, 102, 100 lot maybe. Just nothing. 84 lot at 103 and 102. 80 lot at 102. Does it get filled or does it get front ran? 102.75. Does it get filled? Does it get filled? 102.75. Let's see if it gets filled or if it even gets hit. It might have gotten front ran.
This is ugly. You can have it.
Yeah, right now it's just linger. Like, there's no reason to just click buttons. We were doing what we wanted to do around our level. You know, you have to just wait for your level to come in and do what you got to do. Sometimes you just don't get the follow through, right? NVIDIA is doing this straight down melt, and then you get a pullback, and then you get the same level to try and give you a strong candle, strong close. Like, that was a pretty good close below this 1200 level. This same deal, you're like, all right, cool, we're gonna get in, and I mean, at least we had the hindsight or the foresight to just cut because of the the lack of follow through, right? You know, not taking two huge losers, take the paper cut, then you can flip long, and then pretty much I got to even, but you got to let that thing. I mean, I just got whipped a little bit of manipulation on that because I was up 3. I would have been up 100 on the account. But, you know,
I mean, 448 is not even 2 full losers, but
no.
I had my my thing set at 650.
You have to sit, yeah. Personal daily loss limit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to set it on my XFAs, but when I start trading, I'm really looking to just until I can find some more levels and more opportunity, just continue to trade the combines, and I'm not setting the daily loss limit on those because I kind of just don't mind.
So when you go to your XFAs, they don't take a look at how many combines you burned before you got there?
No, not really. I mean, if you're gonna go to live, maybe they do, but technically, this is just my combines that I have sitting here. A couple of them were like $4.50, so I have them lingering there. They get burned. I wait until they get rebuild for $4.50. Not gonna reset it, you know. Let's see if this breaks this high now, because NVIDIA has this little pattern here. So this is like how I kind of come up with some of my levels, where like I see price acting around them quite a bit, and then if it stops to act that way, I'll just delete it off. And then the more it keeps touching it, the more I'll kind of just leave it longer. So especially with the equities, like you'll see like with Microsoft, I have this 422 level obviously is pretty strong. I drew this up I don't know how long ago, and it's obviously been pretty supportive. This 412 level, it always comes back to this. I don't know how many times I gotta draw it, but on a 1 minute it's not gonna come back. But back in here, I mean, it's been so long. That and the 406 down below it, like Microsoft loves these levels, so I just leave them in there. And then obviously, like as they come, I keep them. And if they show that they're gonna be important, I get rid of them. Or if they're not important, I get rid of them. I mean, slow. 2 moves that were able to be profited off of were this short at 10. I mean, I guess at 845, the short of 845, based on the S&Ps getting to the overnight highs and failing, and the NQ leading us to the downside. So that short there was good. You would never really took any heat on it. For me, I couldn't take it because it wasn't in my levels. It wasn't really where I want it to be. It was an A setup more than a A+. Yeah, we are starting to get heavy for sure. Coming right onto VWAP, right at the opening range low. Delta's getting heavy. That upper end of the opening range still acting as that resistance. So I may want to see what happens at 80. 80 may give up, but I don't want to be tricked. Don't want to be duped. I I want to confirm below this little wedge because there it is. There's the heaviness. I mentioned that there was a 100 lot ish at that 10. Somebody front ran that short.
103.
Yeah, 103. I need to close below this. Nvidia's still over that 1212, so I'm not sold yet on this short.
Tony, what today?
I gotta be at work by 1:45. That's usually when I get there. Nvidia is now coming down to that 1212. Broke it, sitting on the trend line. Looks like it wants to crack the trend line. If we can give up this part, I'll take a quick shot at a short through this low at 72.50. I'll take it and give it a chance. Actually, S&P's is bouncing off that level. 76.50, right, was that level that I was in before. So I'll take the short quick down to the overnight low maybe. If it does want to give it up. If it doesn't want to give it up, then we won't get in. I will see if we can give this up. But it looks like it's holding. I have a student today. Yes, sir. One of the absolutely. It's always cool to have somebody that's a good trading partner. And me and Ray have known each other for a long time. Both ended up in the southern states. So he's in town for some baseball. So he's coming over here to do some trading with me live in this shitty market conditions.
Bouncing off that damn trend line.
Yep. These trend lines are pretty strong. Scooping that liquidity.
Is that yesterday's high at 0.89?
Yesterday's high is gone off my chart all of a sudden. I must have deleted it on accident, but yes. Previous day high is right here.
Right where it's wicking now.
Yeah. This right here. 79.75. I don't know why it disappeared off my chart. I think I accidentally deleted it. 79.50-ish. Good thing I waited.
Yeah.
I anticipate this. I was gonna sell through this if it was.
Stop in, or we gonna just hammer it?
I was gonna stop in through 72.50. Never got there, so that's good. Nvidia's just held right on top of that trend line. They're right there. Nvidia holding this. This 1200 is probably a pretty key level, so I wouldn't be surprised if this does give it up and go to the downside. However, we just grabbed. This is the NQ 30-minute. Oh, this is actually a 1 minute. I apologize. But we grabbed the bottom end of this trend, this whatever you call it, range. Wicked off that big wick off on the bottom. If we start to crack above the highs, be careful because that could give us that like initiation to the high side. Gonna let it dance a bit. Let it dance a bit. 5 minutes till 10. I don't normally trade within the 5 minutes to hourly close anyway, so we're gonna just chill, wait, see. not a ton. Like, so the delta is not showing aggressiveness in either direction to me. Um, could just be looking to get heavy. My problem is like a slow market tends to get bid up, and but if it does want to give up this low, I'm not going to be opposed to shorting it. I want to catch one decent little bit of a move here, but like I said, I caught that long from pretty much the overnight low 76, and we ran right into VWAP on it, got wicked out, and bounced. 67 we were in from. So from 67 up to VWAP, then failed, then rotated higher. Probably would have put us just even on the day if I would have secured it to my normal strategy. But we were looking to catch a little bit of this all-time high love to let this thing breathe a little bit, which was the right move. I just didn't. I wasn't going to try and risk the full thing once I was up 1-1. So coming back to even, getting stopped out, cool. Could have looked to re-enter again on the break back above it. Then would have been safe that way. But I'm not in that realm of just hammer, hammer, hammer right now with this, the way these charts are looking. How you looking over there? Just the same, just patience. Yeah, there's really not a lot of, diminishing volume. You can see it. It's just steadily dipping. Delta's not doing anything. We got
the opening range, like smack in the middle.
Yeah, so it's good to kind of just sit, wait, be patient, see what's going to happen here. We do have a lower high coming in. If Delta gets pretty heavy through this opening range low,
that's kind of what I was thinking.
And
you back to that low.
You got to get through 80. 80 is usually the 80s and the 20s are pretty magnetic. They'll kind of come to it, bounce off of it. If you start to get close to here, you got to see if this is going to be a higher high in Delta or if it's going to be a really heavy flush. It does feel like it wants to go.
The wick off.
S&P is very sideways.
Take it through there, and our risk to the top is only 210. So that's not even a full loser. 235. Where's your VWAP right now?
83.44. 19,083.44. Delta keeps getting heavier. It was running right into VWAP. Like I mentioned.
That's why I don't want to take it because I'm so close to VWAP. Oh,
yeah.
I gotta text my lessons.
Oh, they're not. You're not there?
Nope.
Do you normally have lessons?
Not this early.
Okay. This is the thing with my level here. So this is the previous day high. It is below VWAP, so if it does flush, should get a good bounce. Should get a good break on it. Heavy Delta, right to 80 there. Let's see if it holds.
High low, high low.
Yeah, it needs to make a new low.
Back above it. I'm tempted. I am tempted.
You trying to go long off the VWAP?
Yeah. I think I'd wait until it broke back above 90, above the previous day high. Right back here. This is, yeah, it's cheap. Put this up on the other side of VWAP.
I am potentially on the other end of it only because of the heaviness of NVIDIA. I am short.
Okay.
I'm short. Let's see if I can get down to the overnight lows.
Come on, just flush, bro. This was 20 points. There you go.
There we go. That's a nice little breakdown.
Trail your shit.
I'm going to get down to there. Buy myself another trade, possibly. Can we get heavier faster? Probably not. gonna come up, stop me out, and then run. Yep, stopped at even. Just a bunch of break-even trades. It wicked off that low.
Better than losses. Better than losses.
Hey, I'll take break-even trades all day if it's gonna do this. But this might be your idea.
Yeah, but now I can mitigate the risk. If I go even to the bottom of that candle, that's 17 points.
Yeah, I love the heaviness of the delta. Everything kind of follows through, and then the price just doesn't follow through. So that to me is telling me that there's some sort of bigger buyer coming around to kind of hold this thing up every step of the way. I mean, it came right to the tick of this 67.75 level that I've had drawn up for the overnight low, like the overnight range. I'm going to shoot my shot at it again if it goes. NVIDIA stepping up again.
Fake out.
Fake out central. Bottom end of that range. So this overnight range that I drew up on Quant Tower is acting pretty strong, right? This pretty much 160 tick range. Ticked off the very bottom end of that, and we sold off from the very high of it. What's up, Jofi? How we doing? Choppiness right now. My trades that I find that are good end up up. That's all right. It happens. If it's the first one on the week, you kept it small, then that's all right. It's a choppy day today, choppy day yesterday, for me personally. But hey, you're even, so you're good. Especially in the last 2 days, that's kind of been not the easiest markets to trade. So to be even over the last 2 days is not so bad. Not so bad at all.
Yeah, it smoked yesterday.
It's all about weekly. Well done. I love it. Yeah, right now we're kind of just hammering these levels here, seeing if they'll go. This is that previous day high. If we want to reaccept into yesterday's range at all, this should give up. But NVIDIA has been holding up. Every time it tries to dip through, it just holds up, gets bid up, 1212, 1200. Lack of follow through to the downside. S&P's still grinding below VWAP. Is there still that size at their 103? I'm going to wait to see on the ask. This is not correct. Okay, let's see if that size is still up there. So we got 22 lot. We got it that not so big on the size overhead at 100, 103. That 80 lot is still up there at 104. He just pulled. They keep like flashing it, so it's not necessarily ready to go. It comes on the book and then it disappears. That's the nice thing about having a live data feed. You can kind of see some of these orders. Level 2 stuff is really important if you can start to read it and understand what happens to them around these levels. So I like this heaviness though, man. It's something about the way this, if it's going to get heavy, I want to be involved in the heaviness.
Man, look at this sexy motherfucker right here.
Oh man, look at that guy. Who is that guy? That's why the wife is the social media manager, not me. I don't post pictures of myself.
Look good.
Day Trading Coffee Co. If you're ready to fuel your trading adventure, grab yourself a mug. If you don't want coffee, you got
This is a pretty badass mug.
it's pretty cool. Gold, silver. We got color changing mugs. We got caffeination bowl. We got everything you could ask for.
And most importantly, good coffee.
Mm-hmm. This is our VWAP Bounce Guatemala. It's a medium to lighter roast.
This is about, I know it.
Yeah, I have my stop sell below 77.50. If it's gonna go, I'm gonna take it. I am willing to risk that as my trade
77.50.
because it's below my 79. I have it just down there, just
It's a 345 stop loss. That's another thing. Like I always measure out that range before I enter it.
Oh, absolutely. You should. I would only be probably risking above the opening range low.
Gotcha.
So just above VWAP. The reason I have it below 77.50 is because I don't want to be ticked in on the 79.50. So I give it 2 points. I don't mind. I could be a little more exact, but it tends to work out for me.
Opening range low is just holding.
Yeah, it is holding. VWAP's holding.
If I take here, but it's just not enough freaking movement. That's 250, 220.
It's grabbing a lot of liquidity right here. It looks like
But which way is the break?
Delta's flat.
Tilt, no tilt.
No tilt. Delta flat, which kind of indicates maybe some sideways action, but also it's sleeping enough where it could go. Right? Like you always tend to be like, all right, it's asleep now. And then boom, crack. Right? NVIDIA is tempting every single time. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Every time it gets through it, it gets bid up. If it gives up that bidder, if somebody gets off that buy side, NVIDIA cracks down to 1200, which should push us down through our overnight low, right? Using the confluence to our advantage here. If the 19,100 level on the NQ goes, though, I think high side, you might get a squeeze. Yeah, we need NVIDIA to help us out, Jofi, absolutely, too. Because NVIDIA has been really what we've been trading. It's what it seems like, right? Every time we try to take a good structural breakdown on the NQ, we get NVIDIA to get bid up, and then it just fails us. So right now, NVIDIA is trying to sell into that 1212 and still kind of holding, and NQ is holding now above VWAP. So I think it's anticipating a buy on the NVIDIA side. But if NVIDIA can flush this most recent low, then potentially we get a break of VWAP, which should give us a break down to the overnight low, like I said, and then we'll see where from there. Just trying to think through it logically. Delta a little bit flipping back and forth. Need this to do something. Poke it. Do something. Do something.
It's kind of blow on the screen.
Yeah, below on the screen, like you've seen a lot of those. They're fucking hilarious. All right, so we got a wick over this bunch of wicks, right? Just wicked over it, try to get some longs involved. Maybe that'll break us through this opening range low, and then VWAP, and then 80. All those things need to give up for me to enter a short, which is funny to try and short through a low. However, it does make more sense here at the moment. But then I also see that you are starting to tilt up. I mean, Delta is starting to tick upside a little bit.
What price was it?
90. Screw it. Leave my stop there. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, oh well. That 88.50, 79.50. The bottom end of that wick, like I said, really the bottom end is 67.75 is where we're at. So the heaviness is starting to push. VWAP is acting as support again. Pushing up to 90 again. Delta not pushing up. Flat Delta. Flat price action. Volume nodes here at 80 and at 90. So to bounce around between 80 and 90 makes sense. However, just not a ton of executions here. If it's either going to rip or it's going to dump. I feel like at some point here, And as I mentioned, yesterday had, tomorrow has non-farms. So it could just stay within this range. It could be a range-bound day. We are dead center between 76 and 108. $76.50 breaks. Gets us down to $67.50, which then possibly gets us down to lows of the day.
There it is. Just push through that.
It needs to give up 80.
I think I might jump in with you, but breaks all the way down there. Oh, VWAP is just a son of a bitch right now.
It is a son of a bitch for sure. NVIDIA looking to crack this new recent low. If NVIDIA can give you a new lower low, then that could give us the final indication that this will go. But once again, it's just trying to play with that 12-12 level. So that's why I have my stop where it is. And if it goes once, twice, third touch on this support, let's give it a shot, right? Third touch usually gives me a little bit more of a convicted move. And if it's not going to go once, twice, third, it will probably reverse and go the other direction. So
I'm not really a pattern trader either, but
no.
this kind of reverse head and shoulders.
Yeah, it does.
Right there.
Looks like it's going to get me triggered in, so let's see what happens at 80. Gave up. We're short. And 80 held.
And Delta's freaking this heavy, but god dang, this price doesn't want to go.
Yeah, Delta being heavy, 80 being the key level. If it's going to go, it's probably going to go ripping. So we're still in on this short. Like I said, third touch on it. Usually it will give you a bit more of a reaction. NVIDIA creeping back to 12-12. Giving it some room here, letting it dance. Dance. Bands will make her dance here. Alrighty. 67, right? Was that low? If that 67 goes, stop one more in, and then I'll take one off at the overnight low. Come on, baby. Get heavy for me. This is crap. Crap. Yes, Jofi is brutal, right? NVIDIA is selling off too. So this should be going, right? NVIDIA is about to crack its low and make a new lower low. So if NVIDIA does that, if it makes the new lower low right here, then we should get really heavy, right? This should just melt right now. This is the timing of it is correct. Is it going to actually do what we think it's going to do is the question, right? NVIDIA is still trying to push lower and lower and lower, and we're not following through, even though we got heavy Delta. Delta's flattening out a little bit on our end, but I think we can give it to go. If 80 goes, then we should get heavier. 80, like our trigger here. If it doesn't go right this second, then we're probably going to be stopped out anyway. But I'm going to let it dance a bit here. Give it my full risk and let it go, because really this needs to get heavy with the way the NVIDIA is acting. Since we've been so tethered to NVIDIA this whole day, I feel like that's the right move to hold this now to the short side from yesterday's high. Nope, NVIDIA now popped, and now we're going to get a little pop. Jesus Christ. Sideways, trappy day. No, NVIDIA is still heavy. I mean, really, this should be selling. Everything's selling, sell. Everything but the actual price action. So, what I'm going to do is cut this, flatten all after we close this candle.
I just flattened down.
I'm going to take a loss over the top end of this candle. This current candle, if it goes. Otherwise, maybe it'll keep us in. It is annoying, right? Jofi, I believe you. I'm going to see if we can... All right, we're still in over that candle. I didn't cut it. I wanted to wait for that candle to close. Maybe we'll still get the heaviness to come in. If not, we'll get tagged out. VWAP here acting as a buy point. Price is speeding up, so it's either gonna do something right here. It seems like it's a bit manipulative. I want to get this thing to start to sell off, but it's really not doing much. You can see price is speeding up. You can kind of sense that it's about to do something, probably pop to the high side. I'm gonna get out above this candle here, this previous candle. So we're gonna be flat now, maybe. This opening range low still holding. Delta creeping upside a little bit. It feels like it's going to bounce on me, right? There it goes, flat. All right, we're going to just cut it there, flatten all. Not very good price action, to be honest with you today. Yeah, absolutely. You got to be happy with those $200, $300 days. They add up for sure. I mean, you're not going to have those $1,000 days every day. You got to be realistic with your targets and with everything like that. It's a matter of just law of averages, executing your trades the appropriate way, and whatever comes monetarily as far as that's concerned, then that's just all that comes, right? You're not going to have. It's very difficult to have like that. I should have made this much today, or I should have made that much. Did you execute your plan? And did it work out? That's great. I love it. It's heavy, dude. Should I not have gotten stopped out? I'll take it one more time. One more time, heavy. If this is going to be manipulated again, I'm going to be pretty annoyed.
It looks like it is.
Yeah. It's definitely a buyer. There's a buyer here. What's your tilt on NASDAQ?
Mine?
Yeah, do you see? Is it 61?
61 short.
Okay. Making sure it's the same. I don't know if it. Sometimes it tricks you.
Yeah, I gotta refresh it every so often.
Mm-hmm. Could it go here? Could we get it to get heavy finally through this low after all the attempts getting through here? Will it go this time, or is it just going to do another manipulation stop out? I'm going to be out over this. Delta continuously got heavy. Stay below VWAP. Russell's actually creeping up. NVIDIA's still heavy. It's all manipulation all the time. These all-time high levels, I can't trade them. Really great. Sticking to that pattern of all-time high, just trying to short it. I've tried to buy it, didn't really work. I've tried to short it.
It worked. You just got stopped.
Yeah, it did. I got stopped at even on that. So the two trades I made that were excellent, they got stopped at break even. These other ones, these ones that I'm trying to take and get stopped on, paper cuts, paper cut, paper cut, paper cut. Get to 76.50, and then we'll see what happens. NVIDIA is still getting heavy. This NQ wants to follow NVIDIA. It really does. And that's my issue right now is I'm trying to follow NVIDIA. I'm basically trading NVIDIA on the NASDAQ and getting annoyed about it, to be honest with you. Playing with the previous day high level, playing with the Dow is bouncing, and so is the Russell. S&Ps and NQ are not, and then Nvidia is getting heavy. So we've been diverged from the Dow, so maybe that'll help us. Maybe the Dow bouncing will give the NQ a chance to sell, because that's seems to be what it's been doing. They've been separated from each other. Come on down, come on down. Can
Still
we?
in it?
Yeah, I'm still in it. Still waiting to see if it'll crack. Gonna let my wrist to the VWAP. Delta's heavy. 80. I'm gonna get stopped at VWAP again, probably. 79.50 level is just playing with us. There's a brick wall right here, and if it gives up, it should give up heavy, but it just doesn't want to give up. There we go. If I was somebody who was able to give a bit wider of a stop, these combines don't really allow for that. Bigger term trader possibly could, larger size with a lot wider of a stop. You could let this thing dance a bit and see if it'll get really heavy. It seems like it wants to now. Nvidia really approaching that 1200 level. I don't know if the NQ is expecting a bounce off of 1200, but it's not following through the way the Nvidia is. So it's, you can see this. This is the point. This is the decision point, right? A lot of dancing. Short in from 82. Nice. That's my stop right now. So hopefully you never get tagged. I'm going to add below the low of this candle, because I think we can get to overnight lows if we can. Not this candle, but the low of the previous low. And I'm going to take one off quick with that. Hopefully it'll do what it wants to do here. Nvidia still, it's, you see how heavy this is acting? How's the delta looking? It's still ticking around. It's not negative yet, but it wants to get negative.
Come on down.
80 is just magnetic, dude. The low end of this value area is 71, so we should get to 71. If it's going to stick to the value area rotation, if it gets through that, then it should just melt off quite heavily. There we go, pushing down. If I get triggered into this other one, then I should be at even. I'll probably be at even, right? I'm going to be over there we go. Nice little heavy snap. Don't trust it. I don't trust it based on the way the price action's been going today. 1200 just got tagged in Nvidia. I added a second contract on. Let's see if I can get one off. If the ad fucks me, then the ad fucks me, but it's all right. Should get pretty heavy here. I'm going to get to, even if we get through the low again. Nope. Dancing, 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 dancing. My full risk is to the 79s. Fuck you. That stupid ad. Stupid ad. Come on. Get through. Get through the low one more time. Get to that overnight low. I'll be able to take one contract off at the overnight low. I'm going to get to even now. If I get manipulated out, then it is what it is. I'm cool with it. I'll take 40 bucks on it. There we go. We're pushing through the lows now. Take to the low of this candle here, where my ad was. So basically, all right. I took off one. I took off my both. So I took a small winner there. 384 we're down. So that was a $100 winner. $100 winner on that. Basically canceled out the ad, which I'll take.
Any day.
A nice little base hit to start. I think it does give it up, but that it hit off. Look at Nvidia right here, to the tick on the
At
1200, 46 cents. Like, I mean, exactly bounced right there. The problem is, I think that's what NQ is like anticipating, a push into that. Hey, I would close down if you don't believe that you have another setup, right? I think if we get a flush of the overnight low, we could maybe get that bounce play. Got another 30 minutes left in the stream. Still plenty of bullets in the gun. This is what happens when you limit your risk. You cut your losers really short and then allow some of these winners to play out. I would close
today is not a great trading day. That 76 is the bottom. Yeah, close it up. This is that 67.75 is the bottom of that overnight range. That was like the more where the pretty much I drew up the value area. I mean, a couple points on either direction of the value area, right? So 108 to 67. If we accept below the 67.75, we probably do get. Yeah, Jofi, if you're gonna do anything, we were talking with Mr. Scrooge earlier about locking yourself out either up or down. You know, avoiding that tilt, avoiding that FOMO, and avoiding doing things that kind of might be detrimental to the account long term. Realistically, if you're down today and you're not getting a lot of what should be happening isn't quite happening, and I think a lot of that has to do with the NFP, but also it's the trust in the NVIDIA to actually make moves, because NVIDIA is just dragging this NQ around like a rag doll right now. So yeah, so you almost don't think of your P&L at the moment. Just think about your A plus setups, right? You've gotten yourself from down 1.7 to being down 350. If you're mentally exhausted, if you don't think that there's another A plus setup coming in, if there's another level, shut it down. Shut it down. And NVIDIA is bouncing off of 1200. Could be another bounce play from this 67 area. Could that be the sweep of the low, rotate higher? Could it be? Yeah, close that trade today. Good work, Jofi. Go have some dinner and enjoy the Dubai nightlife of on a Thursday.
We gotta go visit Jofi. You wanna go to Dubai?
Yeah, let's go hang out with Jofi in Dubai. If I ever come over there, you gotta show me around there, Jofi. Or when I come over there. Everything is bouncing. I could imagine. I bet it's clean there too, as opposed to the city. Yeah, when I come, I shall. I'm gonna have to take the whole family and Ray and charter a jet. I was actually thinking about trying
how
to.
much younger he is than us.
Jofi's
Like
21, 22 or something like that. 20, early 20s. I'll bring Max over there. He'll have a good time. 21, so you're good. I was thinking about trying to play for that Saudi league and figuring out how to get in. The baseball league.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. I would love to
There's
play.
a bunch of big leaguers.
Yeah, it's a bunch of big leaguers, but just for the beginning, I'm sure it's just. I mean, it's Cano and
Yeah.
Bartolo.
Yeah.
If we can get in touch, maybe we can get a Miggy to get us involved.
Shit. You probably make a phone call, get us there.
Yeah, maybe I could talk to him. Well, you have to talk to him first. And hey, remember that guy? I don't remember nothing.
High as hell.
Yeah. Hi, Max.
What's up, dude?
You say hi to Ray? Come on, come say hi.
Bye, Max. I mean, bye.
You going somewhere? Say hi to the people. Say hi to Jofi.
Jofi?
What is this? The geezer with me is Ray R. Frias from the chat. He always is in there chatting it up with you.
Yeah.
Me and Ray are both the same age.
You are the same age.
Yeah, we're the same age.
Yeah.
Mama.
Both baseball playing.
You drink all your coffee.
You guys are both baseball players too?
Yeah.
Yeah? You tell Ray that you play now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Daddy, when they get bigger.
There's the overnight low. Look at it. There it goes. Finally, it gave it up.
Who?
What do we do here?
All right. We're going to watch the overnight low and see if we can get a divergence or something. I don't think it's going to give it up all the way, to be honest. I think it's going to be rotational today.
Back up.
Yeah, probably. It's so hard to give up the short, right? I mean, I would love to see it short, really over long term. All right, guys, go with mommy, okay?
Yes, Dad.
Have fun. Let me know what you do.
Bye,
See you later.
Dad. High five, Dad. Why is there a moonball in here?
Because you brought it in here. You can take it. Take it.
I know about high.
Oh, there's that nice, beautiful move that I was looking to save, and I got stopped at even. I mean, the ad was good. Everything's good. Nope. Both boys. He's just acting like a silly goose. He's got his long hair in his face. Look at him. We got Enzo and Max, two guys. It's hard to tell on stream sometimes. I don't know if we're gonna get a bounce. Yeah, it's all good. I could definitely see the confusion. So we do have a heavy delta. Yeah, his name is Lorenzo. We always call him Enzo. It's Lorenzo and Maximus, two big time names. I had to name them how I wanted them to live their lives. There was a nice bounce immediately off that overnight low, like to the tick right there. Ray does whatever he wants to do. He works in the baseball field currently. You want to come say hi to Jofi or answer him in the chat?
I'll go chat.
He'll chat with you. He'll answer you in the chat. I don't know exactly what he does. Maybe he's he's a day trader by day, baseball coach by day, Batman by night.
Right.
All right. I like the overnight low to crack again. God damn. $1,000 on the bid at 62 on NASDAQ, on S&Ps. So if we get a bounce, it could be right here.
That Delta's still pushing.
Delta is very heavy.
But 61% short.
Yeah. I want to see
Oh,
this lower band of VWAP get tagged at 49.50.
I want this bounce, but nothing's telling to go long yet.
71% short. I like it. I want to take a quick hit at it. But then Nvidia is holding. Give me one more wick of the low. Damn it. I don't think I got it. I think it's going to go here. What can I limit this risk to right now? 200 above 67.75. Stop by one above 66. Still front run it. Actually, fuck it. I'll let this thing go. Let's see if we can get this to flush a little bit. Give me one more good flush. If not, we're gonna get triggered in at 67.75. We can get a flush of the low, this overnight low. I'll get in there. Down there. But I'm gonna get in, apparently. It looks like it wants to crack up. Oh hell yeah. Cricket, you're like the prototypical British guy who lives in England.
You play cricket?
Yeah, he said he plays cricket. So there's apparently like a professional cricket league over here.
Here?
Yeah.
In Houston?
North side of Houston, somewhere. I've seen it when I've been driving up to up that way, and I've been interested. I've seen people playing and doing stuff out there. It says professional cricket league, so I don't know. Maybe I'm sure it's there. Classic Brit. I'm a classic American, so it's all right. I don't have like two 30-round AR mags right here. Typical Texan American, even though I'm a New Yorker, deep down. I'll always be.
Did you pass your calls?
Actually, funny story about quals. I got all the way to the range and it started absolutely peeing outside. And the storms here in Texas aren't just like regular storms. They are absolutely wild. So they canceled the quals when I get there. I'm sure you could. They did that like little mini series of the cricket guys trying to play baseball, but they turned them into pitchers, right? Wasn't that what they
Yes,
did?
yeah.
They turned them into pitchers.
They one of them signed with the Pirates.
Yeah, I'm sure he did great.
Here's what I found.
Shut up, Siri.
Siri loves to listen. Can we flush this low?
No, I don't want to flush blow.
Oh.
The blow kicks me out.
Oh, I didn't get in yet. I'm still waiting over 66.
I'm about to clip this for a small little
Some of them walk around with rifles. Very rarely, but I only have it because of work. I mean, I'm not like a gun nut.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love guns. If NVIDIA is going to hold 1200, then this should be the low. And we're just going to pull a full rotational type day.
That'd be nice. Let's get away from my entry though. You know, get away from my entry.
All right, I'm in.
I only works into the low.
Yeah.
Shit, my 1-to-1. Should I take this base hit?
I'm in now, so if it holds over 67, you're good. But if not, then yeah, you can hold it. Hold it. See what happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to find myself on the trade.
Well, yeah. If you're just trying to take a quick base hit on the overnight low attempt here, which I think is possible. What's your entry at? What's your average cost?
62.
62? If we get over my entry and hold, then you should be fine to hold it until 79 or 80. Hold it into VWAP. I would get to even if it gets over my entry, which it just did. It's kind of like dancing around with that 66, 67 level, 68. There you go. Get to even, I would say. Yeah, now you bought yourself that even trade. So now you're holding it to, you're in a way better chance, way better opportunity than me. I'm risking to the low. I think we can rotate from this now that we've accepted over that 67 level. The overhead resistance that we have should be 80, 81. I mean, realistically, if you get to VWAP, I'd start to trail tighter, but it also could rotate fully all the way up to 108 and through all-time highs from here. It's not dragging, huh?
There we go.
You're good. You're all right. You're all right, mate. Is that good? Australian?
That is Australian.
That's my Australian
I was
accent.
in Australia for a little bit.
Yes, you did. That was pretty cool, actually. I'm still trying to go play baseball overseas. I think I still got enough in the tank to go play. I've saved the whole year's worth of.
For HPD, does they have a team?
Yeah, he keeps asking me every day. I helped my buddy start the team, like on how to go about it and everything.
Was he NYPD?
Nope, he was HPD. Then he was Friendswood. Then he went back to HPD.
Why did you friends with?
Yeah, it's just not busy enough for him, and I don't want to talk on stream badly about my employer.
Sorry.
Currently, he just didn't like it. It didn't fit well with his personality. It's really kind of all it came down to. I'm gonna probably get stopped at even. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm leaving my stop down at the lows.
No, I'm going even.
Yo, you're at even already. You're at 62. So if you get stopped, I'll get stopped. How about that? I'll go to 62 for you.
No, I mean you can extend yours. I'm just saying,
Yeah, you're at even. That's a very whippy action there.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't either.
We're
Because 67 is the low, and it needs to accept back above that.
out. Nope.
No, you're not. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. You're still good. You're still good. Still hold it.
No, it's not. One.
A bit of an Aussie.
Come on.
It's going to get back above 67. It's got it.
And,
You're out now? All right. God damn. It's getting heavy again.
yeah. I still like the bounce off of that though.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I should have taken the base hit.
62.50 was your entry? Guess what? I'll buy one right here for you. Oh. I added a second. Which I wanted to do at 62.50, but I didn't get it. So I cut it at my same average price currently. Yeah, it's cool. Absolutely. It's nice to have friends that, also trade. Yeah. So I got Ray onto Tradecaster. He was trading Forex and stuff like that while I was trading futures, and I kind of convinced him to get over to the futures world, and I convinced him to get into the Tradecaster world, and we've known each other for a while. So he's been putting a lot of good work in, about to pass the combine soon. Yeah, I can't do Forex anymore. Once you switch over to futures after you've been in the Forex world, you can never go back. It's just not possible. I mean, unless you want to start doing like longer term swing trade stuff that's more of like a portfolio based, I think it's worthwhile, especially like hedging and whatnot. But as far as anything else is concerned, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, we'd still be in this if I left it at the low.
Yeah, you would have, but it's all right. It's dancing too much. It's okay to get out of it. I did say hold, but I did say to get to even too, because realistically, it should have held over 67.75. This push here is going to be our tell. If it doesn't hold over this level now, then it's probably going to give it up. Yeah, I think so. I mean, everybody else, maybe they do other things, but for me, just a regular guy until I'm not. But I'm going to stick to this type of stream, for as long as I possibly can. There's that push to the low. I added that contract, so I doubled up my loss. There we go. Failure type of day.
Were you still long?
I was still long. Heavy delta now. Price not following through on the delta though. So I really wanted to take this one from down here. Heavy delta. We got about 15 more minutes left in the stream. Let's see if the price is going to follow through to 49.50. Craziest story from policing. I mean, being in New York, you get crazy stuff all the time, every day. I was involved in. I was on scene for 3 different terrorist attacks, so that's always nice.
Times Square unit.
Yeah, it was the Times Square unit. So they kind of brushed those under the rug too, because they say that they weren't. One of them wasn't. One guy blew himself up in the subway. The other guy ran over a bunch of people in the street, and the other, I was actually Chelsea, the Chelsea bombing. I was just one of the responding units after that, but I was right around the corner for the secondary bomb. So there was that. That's always fun. I would say that that's the story to tell. And people, when you tell them that there's a bomb around the corner and they say, "Is that dangerous?" I think that's, yeah, I'm going to go that way. That's what they say to you. Just they're ridiculous. I try one more shot at this. If I get locked out, it is what it is, right? Shoot my shot at the long at this overnight low.
Yeah, I'm in there as well.
Is a bomb dangerous? Yes, it is inherently.
Let's look down this one. It was a terrible day.
Yeah, it's really not a great day to trade, to be honest. Overnight highs is not a great day for me. I'm gonna have to refocus in. Hopefully, we can get a nice little pop on this.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Pushing.
Delta's still pushing downside. Heaviness, yeah. But price is not following through on it. So that's very interesting as well. So it's aggressive short-term sellers trying to push into level. And there it is.
No, but I don't have any more bullets in the
Yeah, and there's no more bullets in the gun. Yeah, very dumb question. People ask very dumb questions. Good morning, Carlos. Ray's got any crazy stories from baseball? He's got crazy stories from policing too. He just decided to get out. I'm sure he's got some baseball stories to tell.
Come on, just give it up. My entry is the same as before, 62.
Yeah. I'm at 63.
But it's not looking pretty.
Yeah, it looks heavy. See, now that it looks heavy for a short, and if I would have shorted,
But I don't want it from that level.
yeah, it would have also, before it was manipulating us that way. So maybe it'll be the same thing. It looks heavy, and then it'll pop. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Reverse psychology on myself here from our overnight
See
lows.
some of this.
Yeah, blow on it. Get it to go.
That's not looking well. Come on. Good strong delta. Push this hoe up.
There is a aggressive buyer coming in. 67.75. Still that level that I needed to get above and hold.
I'm only taking it to 72. 72 right here. Yeah, take the base hit if it gets there. I won't even trade. I'll just clip it there. We're free.
NVIDIA has gone literally nowhere for the last 30 minutes.
Just bounce.
We have stopped dead.
Yeah. This is not a regular day. But the positive thing is I'm not max drawing down the accounts.
That's always good.
It's not making any money.
We're just not gonna get Today is just a choppy day. Jofi, get out of here. Stay up for the week. Enjoy your comeback to that little bit. Yeah, get some food, get some rest, and come back tomorrow. We'll be back on here 8:30 till 11, just like every other day. Next week's gonna be a little weird with my training schedule, and the week after that's also gonna be a little funky. So the month of June's a little funky with streams. So come around while I'm here. Yeah, crush the London session like you always do, and then come on for the stream and hang out and just have a good conversation. That's probably the best thing for you is to trade that London session and then chill. I mean, make some money if you can. If you find your setups, if you find what you're gonna do your best. I have family coming over. They stay in my office, and it's hard to stream when they're in here. This is not a conducive. There's a bed. I usually throw a bed out and all that stuff. So it's my parents come down periodically. It's my son's birthday. So a lot of things that are fun to do. So next week I'll be on. I think just 2 days I have some trainings that I have to go to for work. That'll be in the morning. If I do potentially get on, it might be later on in the day. But I'll let you know beforehand if I'm going to come on or not. Monday, I believe, and Tuesday should be good. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday, but I got to be sure. I think it's the 12th and the 13th, yeah, that I won't be on. Yeah, absolutely. I could go. I might be on the laptop and just trading from the laptop. Maybe I'll try and get some streaming in there.
Come on, get up.
Yeah, I'm still risking to the low.
I'm risking to the overnight. Yeah, the overnight.
Yeah, the overnight low. It's probably going to fight. NVIDIA just absolutely caught a bid and then pulled back a little bit. So let's see if it'll catch a bid again. Later, Jofi. Good talking to you as always. We'll see you later. Damn.
Ugly.
That's
bless.
gross.
That was terrible.
Whoa. All right.
I'm out. All right.
Flat.
I'm done.
Yeah, well.
Of course, now it goes.
Yeah, now it's going to go and do what it's going to do. So, really, this is just not good trading conditions. Another day of just bullshit chop. Took a lot of shots at it. Pretty okay with...
Trading the level you want to trade.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get anything to follow through.
Honestly, the timing was a little off, but this is just price action.
I really want this freaking long.
Yeah. Gonna have to redo these accounts.
I think I'm still okay.
Gotta let them chill.
Yeah, because look at all of these. These are still 51,000, 51,000, 50, 700, 50.
That's good. I still have one account. That's all right. And I still have my XFA. It's not like I'm just trying to maximize these and kind of over leveraging things a little bit, but this is not really bad. The wave is taking. There's that actual bid now. I have $63 to risk, so I can really just go to town on this, but I'm not doing it.
Go to one of your other accounts.
Yeah, I will.
Of course, the bounce is not after it stops us out, so. Look at this.
It's fantastic. See, the timing is... It's all about timing in this game here. And there it is.
1 to 1. Oh, even. See what happens. Take it to view out. What day you said?
67.75. So you're actually in the breakout point now, so it should be going here.
If this stock's gonna break even, I'm done.
What's your entry?
62.75 again.
62.75. It's worth the shot. I mean, that was a really good entry. What are you at? At even?
You know, I'm yeah, about $20 and just covering some fees.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it should probably rotate from this low up to probably to highs, just based on the rotations that it's been dealing with today.
There we go.
I just don't have enough left to do anything right now.
Final candle to candle on this.
I think you're going to be okay up to 79.50. Up to 79.50 is probably going to be the interesting level to watch. You just broke out from this downtrend here at 70. And like I said, I think reasonably 79.50 gets touched. And if 79.50 gets touched, then I would start to maybe trail. But that's if this does want to continue and rotate, right? If it's everything hasn't followed through for me today, so all my ideas have been kind of poor. 67.75 is the low that should hold, right? If that doesn't hold, then it probably gives up and rotates. But 67.75 is that like right where we're at right now. That's like the breakout point. It's the where it could be. You could be either right or wrong right here. And it's gonna go. What is your stop at? 62, 64. You still should be okay. See what happens on this.
Let's go 63.75. Just $20, just to cover my fees.
Yeah. S&P is that a false breakout rotation to the bottom end? Is Nvidia going to continue high side? What's going to happen here? Are we just going to continue sideways bullshit? I mean, this is not great trading. The real good trades were probably at 7 a.m. this morning, 7:30 on the buy side. Then that divergence that I was talking about at the 108 level is really kind of where it was at.
But even then, like, do you really realistically have an entry there?
No, I didn't. That's why I didn't. Yeah, I never had an entry there for real. If this candle closes here, then you should still be okay.
If it closes here,
If it closes above 67.75, then you should be able to trail to the bottom end of that.
That's 66.
Yeah, that candle there. Because really, if it comes back and fails that, then it's probably going to roll over again. Delta is kind of flattening out. It's not really following through on aggressive buyers. 79.50, like I said, is that higher volume node above, so it still should draw you to it, but at the same time there's not like a shit ton of buying pressure right now. But also there's not a lot of selling pressure. I mean, the delta is ticking a little bit downside. We are negative in the delta. Yeah, it's trying to hold that, just closed above, and it's pushing, trying, but delta's not following through. I mean, like I said, you're still in the money, you still have your stop in a decent, and there's a push down, and then it's a lot of manipulation going on currently.
I don't think I'm taking any really bad trades today.
No, that's really kind of how it goes with this. It's just all-time high levels are super difficult because you're really relying on just the most recent information and kind of almost reading just tape and trying to follow that the equities that are kind of leading us around, right? Yeah, you're just going, and it's annoying, and hopefully we can get ourselves back and get these combines up and running and going good, but at the same time, it's just nothing really helpful right now.
I'm taking back-to-back pretty bad days.
That's the problem with this.
That's a wrap. I'm out.
All right, he's done. It's 10:56. We have had some tough goes the last 2 days. Levels are good. price action is a little just wonky for a lot of people. If you understand that this is kind of what's going to happen, stay out. Don't execute if you can't handle some of these drawdown periods. If you understand that it's going to be one of those types of days, then maybe just chill. Tomorrow's an NFP. Crappy day. Very unfortunate type of day. I want to take the the last shot on these, but 48.5. If the S&Ps can tag this 53, 58, 50, then maybe we get a bounce from that. Doesn't fit.
It's like I was so close this week too.
I know.
Could have been done this week.
I know. Mentally, it's draining, but it's good. You're gonna get there. I think it's really. You just need that last little anguish before you get to pass, and then never look back. Yeah, you can see we did not trade the XFA at all. Still, we're just kind of being patient on this. We're gonna take our losses on these combines, and then when we're ready to hammer in on really good trades, then we will be ready to go. I want this S&P to get down into that 53.85. I want to see what happens at 11. I'll probably get off here at 11.10, 11.05. I just want to see what happens on this close of the hour. And then if I can see if there will be one more shot in this combine here. Delta is not like super heavy, but it's also just kind of going straight downside. It's just not like a really aggressive price action. You want some pizza? I'm gonna order some pizza today.
Do I want some pizza?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, Wednesday.
Is Enzo gonna pick all the pepperonis off with?
He
Is
might.
it Enzo or Max?
Enzo did that the other day.
He does it all the time.
Yeah, he could.
That's not bad. All right, I'm okay with that.
You can make 2 days. You'll be fine. Looking to see what we got going on here. Just a very difficult day to be trading. Gonna be honest with you. Very chitty day.
Where did we get smoked? Right here? This kind of?
Yeah, it was that one, I think.
It just didn't melt off right away.
It was really so we got on here 8:30.
Oh, it was these right here. This chunk.
Yeah, it was this choppiness right here. Delta was heavy. Everything is correct. Like, so for the normal idea here, everything makes sense for this to work out.
To
No,
shorter or to longer from that position there.
To short. I mean, it was right. Everything was, I mean, even NVIDIA was heavy. Everything else was heavy. And then you just got that flip. And then once that flip
According to
happened.
your mean reversion, wouldn't it be fake?
Oh, yeah, I really should have been. I mean, I should have been taking the long there. But I fell for it. Sometimes I fall for it. I get duped. Sometimes I get duped.
Probably would have got duped a few times anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you enter one after one of these rejections.
Yeah, if I would have entered,
Right under, you would have got.
I probably would have been break even on this. So if I was taking my normal strategy, right, that pushed down to that 30, then we come in, we wick this low. I probably would have entered above at 59, entered at 59, got to break even once we got to like 73. I mean, I might have even started to trail it even up a little bit on that first time. Then that really heavy push and then rotate again. Might have done it again. Probably just another break even. Then I probably would have got tricked into the short because it's the third time. And then that's when I would have got burnt on it. But then the long came in. We took the right long there off the low and got stopped. The two that we took that were really good got stopped at even. And that was really the end of it right there. And really right now we're looking at probably the very similar idea.
57 is just holding everything up.
Yep. At some point it'll give up.
Yeah, when is that point?
When we are done. When we're done.
Yeah.
When we're done. That's when it'll do it. Do you plan on coming over tomorrow?
I'm gonna try to.
What time
we
is-
have early games tomorrow, but
What
we
time
have
are
a third coach that's gonna be there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna see what time he gets in tonight, and I'm just gonna tell him, hey, like you go coach for space, and I'll head over here earlier.
What time is the early game?
10:20, 10:30, something.
Oh, that's not bad. It's up there. Tumble?
Premiere,
I don't know what it is.
spring.
Oh, it's in spring? Yeah, yeah.
How far is that?
It's an hour. It's right over
Everything's
there.
out here, bro.
Yeah, everything's an hour. I have one bullet left in this gun.
Like, I mean, in this account, I got a few.
Yeah, I have another account that has a few, but I want to give this.
I should just hammer it and go 3 contracts.
Yeah. Don't do that yet.
See, like, what do you want to do there? So Delta's pushing down, but there's small candles, but price is not following. So do you take the bounce, or do you wait for the breakdown?
I want to see if there's going to be a manipulation candle somewhere here. I want to see if we'll get like a wick into like maybe this 49 and then a pull back right above it. But it might not even give it to you. It might just go right now.
Look at that. Some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been cheap too. 200.
I still think it's going to chop a bit. Just based, like Nvidia's just sitting on these lows. Its prices just completely slowed down to nothing. S&P's got to 53, 58 and bounced. That's my one thing that I was looking forward to do. But I wanted to get, actually touch it. It didn't quite get it. It front ran it by a quarter.
Yeah, but like look at the 30 minute. They created this bottom weight with respect to the previous one, and now it's just moving.
Yep. If we rotate over 76.50, then we rotate back to 108. All right. Well, looks like 5 more minutes left in the stream. I want to see if this and S&P does anything. It really just seems like a very grindy, choppy type day that could have been avoided, but also at the same time, you have to take your shots if your setups come. We had our setups around these levels. We took good trades. Probably if we just took one, like $100 off on every single trade, we'd be up. Just a couple little tiny base hits. But in this environment, I didn't expect that. I kind of expected, especially after yesterday, a little bit of either follow through in either direction. I did mention the NFP is tomorrow, so that's probably what it's waiting for to break out of this sideways range. I do want one manipulation to the low. If I can get it. If it does give you a wick in either direction, then possibly look to fade that wick. Otherwise, there's the bounce to 71, pushing up to 72. There's the final, like, the buyers are coming in harder than the sellers at the moment, even though the aggressiveness on the Delta is not there, right? Delta made new lows, prices making higher highs. So you're getting that, like, opposite divergence, right? Lower lows in Delta, higher lows in price. So you are showing that the sellers are less aggressive, or the sellers are less big but more aggressive. So the buyers are starting to, when the actual buyers start to step in, it probably goes to the high side. I'm going to take a piss quick, and then I'm going to shut this bitch down. Honestly, really everything looked, if you just kind of simplified it down a little bit, it all looks right. Just the profits are wrong. It's weird. Weird to say that everything that we did was kind of right. and you just don't make money some days. Some days you run into these back-to-back days that suck.
I don't know. The sucky part is like being on the copier and it's like
Yeah,
times 4.
Yeah, it's all of them. But that's one of the reasons I have avoided the copier for a long time, is because that could be the thing that happens, right? You draw down everything times 4. So you really, especially once you get into the everything XFA, I'm a little bit more loosey-goosey on these combines, like you tell. But for the XFAs, especially if you're going to copy them, it might behoove you to like put 3 on one and 2 on the other, and just like manage them a little bit separately.
Yeah.
Unless you start seeing like you're in the hot streak and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw them all in the copier. And
That's when you get blown up.
yep.
I think I went like 9 days straight on a winning streak,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 massive losers.
2 big losers is what it'll get you. You set your daily,
They weren't max drawdowns, but they were still substantial.
but so if you didn't max, then you're still good. So then it'll take a couple more days, but you'll still be fine with it. I just burnt these. I want this to hit off on 53, 58, and then it'll bounce, and then this, wherever it ends up, will bounce. Let's see if that's what happens. Yeah, so next week, the 12th and the 13th, I have work training starting at 8 a.m., so it won't be on the stream those 2 days, according to this email that I just got. Wednesday and Thursday starting at 8 a.m. Give me this push to 53, 58, 50. Look at this. So NVIDIA had all these big grand moves. Big push down, started to rotate, and then now it's flat. So it's the same thing you're getting here. Big move down, push up, now you're flat, right? Yes, the NVIDIA stock split is tomorrow after hours, so that's another reason why it's probably up in this range. I would anticipate more buyers stepping in on Monday potentially, because it's going to be cheaper and people could actually afford to buy them, and they think that the value of this company is much higher.
Was that 12,000?
It's at 1,205. It's going to get cut to divided by 10, so $120 wherever, tomorrow, wherever it ends up, 120, 130, wherever it ends up. And then it'll either sell off or people will start to buy it more because it'll be affordable at 120. That's the reason they did it. It's because it's so, priced up so high.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, looking like Delta's pushing up again, and 67 is that point. But this is what happened before. Pushed up into it, wicked off. So I'm not convinced. I'm going to shut the stream down. I'm going to see everybody at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Maybe Ray's going to stop by again. We'll let you know. But until then, I'll talk to you all later. Deuces.